Hello everybody, welcome back to Starkey Forum Says. So my name is Samantha. Most of you know that I have a master's degree plus 21 hours with 4 certifications to teach. Most of you know that I am an advocate for choice. I think the government and the dismantling of the public education system should give parents the amount of money that that child would have and say, here, choose any school, right? You can put your child in a charter school. You can put your child in a religious school. You can put your child in a military school. You can put your child in a Montessori school, or you can stick in the public school. It is your choice. That is actually what freedom is.
That's going on in the DMV right now, particularly DC and PG County, makes no damn sense. And the fact that we don't see no leader on television screaming about it lets us know something as well. Our kids are caught up in a social damn experiment as far as I'm concerned. And guess what? You ain't gonna find out whether or not my baby gonna make it or not. Is he gonna make it out or not? I swear to goodness, I feel like people are just watching our babies from up top, trying to see if our baby's gonna make it out or not. And I'm gonna let y'all know, it ain't even the black elite in this area should be ashamed of themselves, because they put their babies in these private schools and they know the rest of the children are suffering. As black Americans in this community, we are working hard, making great money.
I see where she's coming from, because guess what, lovely lady? White people feel like we're living in an experiment. Like we're all just, actors on somebody else's playboard, baby. Because, hear me out now. The truth is, the Democrat Party is a slave party. They don't want you to have choice. They want you to have the illusion of choice. Recently, I found a video of a black lady chewing out black elites for taking the choice away from them while having the money to send their babies to private schools. So let me repeat that for you. Poor, black and brown, we never get to discuss white people anymore. People are angry that the black elites are taking their children out of the dangerous, ghettofied, horrible public school system and sending their children to the top schools while not providing them with the choice for their children.
Of today to, quote, segregation academies of the Jim Crow South. Why then send your child to a private school after speaking out so publicly against them?
I didn't speak out against private schools. I spoke out against school choice. School choice and private schools are two different entities.
So what am I talking about? So the teachers union, the head of the teachers union recently said this.
But I think one of the issues here is actually something that you yourself raised. You wrote a letter to your colleagues and you said that our critics want you to believe that, quote, school choice is a black and white issue that lacks nuance and hard choices for people like us, black families, especially when you are parenting a black boy in America. You wrote that to explain why you chose to take your child out of public school for a sports program at a private school. The question I think your critics are asking is, why not afford that nuance to the families who might live in the south side of Chicago and in other major cities, and they want the same choice that you were able to afford to give to your child?
In South Louisiana and Saint Helena Parish, a few years ago, they were pushing for a charter school in this parish. And the only school board, it's only got 3 schools underneath it, rallied up the black population to shoot that down, to get it voted no. They basically convinced these people to vote against their best interest. Because if you look at statistics in South Louisiana, in Saint Helena Parish, we have one of the worst school systems in the entire state of Louisiana. And guys, that's saying something.
Should be ashamed of themselves, because they put their babies in these private schools and they know the rest of the children are suffering. As black Americans in this community, we are working hard, making great money, making sure our kids are living in beautiful environments, safe homes. But guess what? They're bound to read for sorry ass schools. You sitting here paying $3,000, $3,500, $4,000 a month to live somewhere, and your child is boundaried to a 3 out of 10 school.
Accountability. She literally just said it. We're working hard. I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there. The black middle class is doing way better than white America. You've had a lot of things pushed in your direction for the past 40 years that should have made you all millionaires at this point. And I'm not lying. Federal jobs, state jobs, local jobs, DEI, preferential hiring, black-only scholarships. I could just go on and on, but that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is, for all your education and money you're making, you still can't see the elephant in the middle of the room. Why will they not give you school choice? Why? They're literally telling you that school choice came from Jim Crow because white people didn't want their babies in school with black kids. Okay? That's what they tell you. So you immediately vote no against your own best interest. Why would you not go for school choice? It doesn't matter how much you're making. If you're stuck, and it is, that's how schools are. You're stuck by zip code, by where your land is, okay? And the school your child has to go to is horrific, okay? You know, fights, they're not learning anything, the teachers are subpar, full of illegal immigrants. What are you gonna do, friend? You either take them out and put them in a private school, you take them out and homeschool them, or you stop voting Democrat. Because let me tell you something. It was not Republicans who started school vouchers to keep white kids from black kids. That was Democrats. Republicans believe everybody's equal. Republicans believe that your child deserves an education just like mine.
Choice would be, here is the money. Here is this is how much money the state is going to spend on your child to educate them. Here, you're giving it to your parents. You take that and put your child in the best possible school for you. If that's inside your zip code, if that's outside your zip code, if the public school is the best place for your child, you send them there. And giving the parents the power to make that decision.
The problem is that you're still race baited. You're still part of a party that tells you something and expects you to toe the line. All the black elites are sending their babies to top-notch private schools, or they're homeschooling, or they're going to religious schools, private schools. Your kids are still in ghetto schools no matter how much money you make and no matter where you move. And you're angry. Started with white people. First it was us. It was Trump. Now it's black elites. When are you just going to wake up and say, you know what? We have done a really bad thing by voting repeatedly for Democrats. They never vote actually in our favor. We want choice. And you know what party actually gives more choice? The Republican Party. We believe in choice. It's why we want to dismantle the Department of Education. See, when you hear that, you think we want to get rid of public schools. Oh my God, it's so racist. Actually, no. We just want people to have choice. We want people not to have their children taught stupid stuff and shot in schools and beat up and told that only Black Lives Matter. So if you like this type of content where I just break it down for you truthfully and show you what's actually happening in this country and try to point you off the plantation, then like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to row in our boat, look below. And guys, just listen, if you want the newsletter, it's $30 once every 6 months. Here's the thing. You've got to send me your email address and the memo with money app that you use. I love you guys. The last video for tonight.
Brown v. the Board of Education. We also understand that school districts in the South in particular closed down entire school districts, offered money to families, white families, so they could get accepted into private schools. That is, in fact, the origin of school choice in America.
Again, we're the Democrats. See, the Democrats have you in cities locked in by your zip code. All of that is by design. Yeah, they're going to keep you in there so you keep, disappearing. Like the lady said, I feel like this is like some kind of psyop, right? She didn't know the word for it, but that's what it is, ma'am. Like somebody's watching to see if our kids actually make it out of here. That's exactly what they're doing, baby. Look, sometimes what you feel on the inside, no matter how crazy it sounds, when you say it on the outside, it's because the Holy Spirit's trying to tell you something. They've got you landlocked, sweetheart. All these rules and regulations. Y'all think it's the white people. It is. It's the white Democrats. They got y'all right where they want you, baby, and they're not going to let you
And
go.
I know that the right wing wants to obscure that in the same way that they want to tell us that slavery was a job training program.
No, that's the reason why it's all racist today. But that's just not true. What she's saying is just not true. Recently, it has been found that the most racist and segregated school system in America is the one in New York City. You want receipts? Watch this.
A new report by UCLA and the Civil Rights Project in UCLA says that New York is actually the most segregated states when it comes to their public education system. So that's kind of surprising because a lot of people would make the assumption that it's actually in the South, but their data proves otherwise. Let me tell you exactly what they found. In New York City, the largest school system in the U.S. with 1.1 million pupils, the study notes that many of the charter schools created over the last dozen years are among the least diverse of all, with less than 1% white enrollment at 73% of the charter schools, which is
What does that tell you? It tells you that white children are not getting the same opportunities as black and brown children are getting, as illegal aliens are getting. These vouchers that are being given for these charter schools, the invitations to enroll in these charter schools, obviously are not being offered to white children who are being left in these horrific public schools. Yeah. Make that make sense, America. Love you guys.